Good morning, good evening, wherever you are across the nation, around the world. This is Deja Brew, and we are waking you up to truth. I have Jen back with me, and we're doing Monday Madness. And y'all better buckle up, sit down, get comfortable, get something to drink, because we have a show today. Jen, thanks for being with me again.
Thank you for having me, my dear. Yes, everybody grab you a drink, whatever that may look like for you. How's everybody doing?
That's right. So let's jump right in with our couple of clips we're going to look at while I get the screen ready, and you tell them.
Okay.
You tell them about it.
Okay. So first of all, I mean, it's been a few days now. It happened Saturday, but everybody see the Truth Social post from Trump, like saying Biden was fucking executed in 2020. That we've been looking at clones and
right?
robotic.
How crazy is that?
First of all, Trump is not an idiot. He is not an idiot. And he is not going to look like a raving lunatic for very long.
Right?
He's just not.
That's my opinion of it too. There is no way he would risk that. Not this time.
Yeah.
His first 4 years, he said a lot, ran his mouth a lot.
Yeah.
Which I rather enjoyed. But
oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He's not. There's so much on the line right now.
Yes.
And I don't think I'm with you. But go ahead.
So, well, I mean, I know during what Jean-Claude from Beyond Mystic refers to as the pretendency of Joe Biden. If you're watching the news, which most people don't anymore, but I watch it as a comedy once in a while, and every time they would show Biden, like they're talking about him, and they might show 6 different flashes of Joe Biden photos. Each one is different.
Right.
Each one is fucking different. Trump kept saying at his rallies, he's shot. He's shot. I guess that's how he chose to get executed. I guess firing squad.
I guess.
Because
from my understanding, you do have a choice for tribunal kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think there is a choice. And also with the truther stuff that we learned about, we were taught that they had a choice of cooperating and making the video testimony plus written testimony would like what, spare them their reputation or their family the reputation or something like that.
Yeah, and I see that as like, okay, well, like Queen Elizabeth, for example, like, okay, Queenie, we'll give you a normal public death and we'll let you exit. And it might be a few years before everybody finds out you're a fucking lizard. I mean, hello, Elizabeth.
Right?
Lizard,
Lizzie people. It's the Lizzie people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking satanic bitch.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But
it's wild.
I mean, allegedly, of course. This is all speculation and for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
We're just two crazy kids with our wild imagination.
No mind. Wild imagination. Yeah.
Just something fun to ponder.
Yeah. Things that make you go,
Right? Which actually all kind of ties into everything we're going to be doing on our Monday Madness shows. We're going to be showing how you can see to connect those dots between politics and religion and Hollywood and the music industry. And how it all leads back to one thing. And yes, the children are important, but that's not even where it ends.
No.
Because this is a spiritual war.
Yes.
This is between the dark forces and the light forces. And
Amen to that.
We are going to show evidence to back all of this up.
Yeah,
This
we
is
are.
our wild conspiracy.
Yes.
And
I'm gonna
personally, I
need
think
some
even
new.
some Christians are in on it.
Oh hell yeah,
I
they
was
all.
thinking
Oh,
about that
yeah,
earlier
they are.
because I don't know how you were raised with your religion, but I was raised Southern Baptist.
Me too.
And
But
Southern
loosely.
Southern Baptists will teach that you're born a sinner, which I
Yeah,
have always argued with.
you're a freaking baby.
You're so pure
Babies
and
don't know
innocent.
how to
You
sin.
are truly the closest to God and the connection we have to God when you're that tender young age, which is
Yep.
exactly why these people target the little ones
Yes.
because
These
they're
lizards.
literally
Yeah.
trying to snuff out the most pure godlike of our
Yeah.
people
Exactly.
first
Exactly.
in one way or another. They're going to snuff their light
Hmm.
out.
Yep. And
Yeah.
you look at these people, the victims that are obvious, and we're about to get into that. They're dead inside. There's nothing behind the
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah. And some of them get turned and some of
Hmm.
them don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I could name off of shit both hands right now people that I have seen from children come into fame and move up the ranks and change dramatically from
Yeah.
where they began. You know,
Yep.
Bieber, Taylor Swift, even. Look, I mean,
Yeah.
she was so pure and innocent when she started. And now look at this craziness,
Yeah.
right? She definitely is one of them that they turned. And I even
Hmm.
seen a clip today. I should have saved it really because we're talking about all this. But I saw a clip today of her when she was really young, probably, I don't know, 16, 17, 18 years old, really young. She still looked
Hmm.
like a baby, you know.
Yep.
And she's like frantic about how they're telling her that this is Tennessee Christian kind of attitude to have, and she grew up in Tennessee. She knows this ain't Tennessee Christian attitude. Like she was
Yeah.
freaking out.
Yeah.
And now look at her, right?
Yep.
Totally different
I,
person.
I honestly, I haven't looked at her in a long time because I don't. She's not country anymore. I don't really like country, but she's pop, and I'm just, you know.
But like all of her
But
shows are like this big evil summoning
yes,
production, right? Is
yes.
what I mean. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's so
Oh yeah.
far from where she came. So clearly she's one of them that got turned. But
Oh
there are
yeah.
others who we're going to speak
Oh
of
yeah.
tonight who
Yes.
didn't turn. If anything, they were turning state's evidence, which
Oh yeah.
got them right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Thank you.
I actually want to start with a clip that we have here from Ellen's show.
God, yes. Great place to start.
Okay, well, if it'll quit jumping around. I don't know about you, but my phone, my internet, my everything has been wonky today because of the solar flare shit.
Yeah. Everything's been wonky. Everything's
Yeah,
been wonky for days because of these solar flares.
yeah. All right, check this out.
Something,
yes,
right?
on Full House. We were 6 months old, and then from there, it just kind of.
But don't they usually get rid of the babies and then just recast older
Always.
kids?
Always.
I mean, that's just
Always.
rare that you stayed the kids.
Yeah.
And do you remember, like, what's your earliest memory of that?
There's quite a few.
I'm not sure if they're memories or old footage.
Right, right.
Right. You kind of confuse the two. But we remember small things like being in a shower with Dave.
All right, let's not talk about that. Okay. I was talking about the show. So let's
Sup, sobers. So pretty much everyone in my
yeah.
immediate family and close inner
That's
In
crazy.
the shower with
Yeah.
Dave?
Like, what the
Why
hell?
would you even joke about that if it wasn't
Right.
true?
Right. Exactly. Like, why are you even bringing it up?
And let's just remind
Definitely.
everyone that Ellen's set looks like Epstein Island.
Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's creepy. I don't even know another word for it other than it's creepy. Her set.
Yeah.
Like knowing what we know about Epstein and all that, like what were they doing? Why do they?
Yeah.
Let me ask you that. Let me just ask you that. Why do you think that they have to tell you without telling you? Because that seems to be a thing, right?
Yeah, God, what have I heard? I started down these rabbit holes in 2018, and I guess the vibe I got from all the different stuff I listened to and read was that they have to show you or put it out there as a joke or a movie or whatever so that they can say, oh, their karma. Like they can say, oh, well, I mean, we told them. We made that sick joke on the Ellen show. We fucking told them. They didn't say anything. They didn't give up their consent.
See,
That's
I'm with you there because I literally just heard Spirit say to me, it's the whole free will thing,
yeah, yeah. Because this is the
right?
planet of free will. I gotta
Right.
adjust my chair.
They
There we go.
can't
Yeah.
they can't they can't fuck with free will, but like if they tell you some of it, something of it, and you don't question or do something about it, then you just submitted your free will permission.
Yeah.
So you're right, it's a consent. Yeah.
So I mean, really, I hate to say it, but this is all of our faults because we never stood up until now. Well, until for me, 2018, and said, "Yo, that doesn't sound right. Why are you taking showers? Why are you in the shower with Dave when you're a freaking child? When you're a
Mhm.
why?" We didn't
Right.
stand up and say anything.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
That's why this can never happen again. That's why this has to be so crazy. That's why the scare event is necessary to wake people up who just are too caught up in their own lives and their own bullshit to give a shit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, who cares about these celebrities? Understandable, but they're taking our children. I mean, I don't have kids, but they're taking kids. People
Yeah.
get kidnapped all the time.
Yeah.
What are you going to say if it's your child? You
Yeah.
know, that's why I think this whole movie is going to be so over the top. And we're right around the corner from the scare event. I can feel it in my bones.
Oh God, me too.
You
And
know?
yeah, I feel like it's really crucial that people understand it and wake up to it now because otherwise it's gonna wreck their fucking world basically. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna really rock their world
Yep.
if they don't start getting drips of it now. So
Yeah.
that's the point of us and others doing these type of shows is to sort of slow drip them into
And I mean,
the full truth.
even in my day-to-day life, I try to tell everybody, give them some kind of nugget of
Hmm.
something, so they'll be like, "Oh, remember when Jen said that crazy thing and we thought she was nuts? Oh, okay. So at
Yep.
least when all this shit happens, it won't be a total surprise."
Right. Right. They all, regardless of what level we're at in our awakening and our soul growth and the veils being thinned and all those great phrases, on some level we're all gonna kind of know, unless you just really have your head in the sand somewhere.
A lot of people still do. A lot of
Well,
people that I know,
I
I
don't
love
know
them
that it's
so
I don't know that
much.
I would say a lot because I think on some level they do know, even if they don't want to talk about it or hear about it.
Yeah, I hope
You
so.
know,
I hope so. I really do. And
yeah.
I feel like the ones that have listened to me, that have been like, oh, okay, wait a minute, I feel like I've explained the scare event and what's going to happen to enough people that, it's like when all this shit started happening in 2018, when I found Q and I found out about all this stuff and I introduced it to my dad. And
Mhm.
I remember one day he looked at me and he's like, what are the masses going to do? And I said, Dad, by that time,
Yeah.
everybody's going to have a QAnon person in their family.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have someone in their corner saying, oh, wait. Yeah, it's a scare event, not an actual scare. It's
Yeah.
fake.
Right. It's what we would call like a FF
Yeah.
event, right? Well, I know
Yeah.
I hate that we have to kind of still be careful with wording on
Hmm.
here, but it's there. Like the
Yeah.
censorship is still there.
Yep.
Not as bad as it was, but it's
No.
still there.
So if
certain
anybody's
keywords.
wondering what FF means, just Google it. We don't want to say it because we don't want to get kicked off.
It's like it's about things being false with, your flag being there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Wave your flag in falseness, in falsehoods.
Beautifully put.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
All right. Cheers. I want to go ahead and play another clip here because, actually, I don't want to play a clip. Keep talking. Let me find this picture. I want to show this picture
Okay.
that I took earlier.
Okay. Keep talking. I've been put on the spot.
Well, we're gonna be talking about Heath Ledger.
What a
And
beautiful, beautiful man.
he
Who
was a
honestly,
gorgeous soul, truly.
all these people that have died, and I do died because in my a girl can dream. A girl can dream that these people are in witness protection, testifying
Right.
against the Illuminati.
Right.
That's what I'm praying. That's where Kurt Cobain, Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, all of them. I pray that that's the case.
Yeah.
Might not be for all, but
And we're gonna be talking about Chester and Chris Cornell also.
yes.
But tonight, yeah, go ahead. We're talking about Heath Ledger, gorgeous
Heath Ledger,
soul.
yep. Mm-hmm.
And
Great actor. Great energy about him.
he definitely went way too soon.
Yes.
And he definitely went under some very, very mysterious circumstances. And we believe that we have found the connections to that fits into all the rest of this.
Uh-huh.
So, right. Okay.
Some straight up shenanigans.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there's definitely some fuckery went on.
Mm-hmm. Fuckery and shenanigans.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because this beautiful soul, the hell is happening with I'm sorry. I'm trying to look at my
Soul
screen here.
flares.
It
Soul
must
flares.
be.
Messing
There's
everything
some
up.
trippy shit going on. But anyway,
Yeah.
I wanted to show this photo first. Can you see that?
Yeah. Human not found. 404.
Human not found. I think that's a perfect beginning here.
Oh, yeah.
Because for sure there's been some errors happening, right? Oh, wrong way.
Things just disappearing off the internet.
God. Right.
Yep.
So now I got to fix it again because I done lost it.
That's okay.
But yeah, I mean, he died under such strange circumstances. And the reason that we show Mary Kate and Ashley at the beginning of this is because there's actually a connection with Mary Kate to his death. And we have our own theories about that and feel like not that she helped create the situation. I guess that's the better way to say that.
Yeah.
But that she was giving him information. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think she was helping him to get some bad people, because there were several of them that were trying to do that who all ended up with the same fate.
And I wasn't sure. Like, I know Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell were making that documentary that was going to expose the Hollywood shenanigans. And after I watched that video you sent me twice before work today, I actually looked to see if Heath was putting together anything, and I couldn't. I didn't have much time to search, but I couldn't like immediately see. So I didn't know if he was in the same boat as Chester and Chris Cornell.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it leaves many, many questions unanswered. So let's kind of get into why we think that his death is a mystery. And I'll try to pull up that part of the video for everybody to see. Because there were some very mysterious circumstances.
Very.
And was it his housekeeper that was there first?
Housekeeper was there.
Yeah,
Said
she's the
she
one
heard
that
him snoring
right.
at 1:00. And second watch that video, I'm like, I feel like she's in on it too.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the
I do
masseuse,
too.
who we don't have any records of her being a masseuse.
Yeah, she's basically a ghost otherwise.
Yeah.
Except for where she was found on Facebook, of course.
Mm-hmm. And wasn't that under a different name?
Yes, it was under a
Yeah.
different name. And
That's weird.
I'll show that in just a second, but first I want to show. Let me get back to this page so I can share my screen, and I want to show everybody what she looks like while she's Ledger's masseuse. Okay, so this is her while she worked for Ledger.
And I'm sorry, if I'm working for Heath Ledger, I'm going to be dressed a lot better, and I'm not going to look so frumpy. I'm just saying.
Well, but notice how she's got the really dark sunglasses on and the ball cap pulled way down so that people really just can't recognize her, because I don't think anybody in Hollywood knew who the hell she was, except for whoever sent her there to be his handler. That's my opinion of it, right?
Yeah.
And I could be dead wrong on it, but that is my opinion of it. I think that's what was going on. She was sent there to do a job.
Yeah.
And that was to get nosy and see what he was up to, because him and Mary Kate were getting real chummy.
Mm-hmm. They were dating, apparently.
Yeah,
after he ended the relationship. Yeah.
That was like the one thing that was actually told to the police about Mary Kate. And I think actually that the masseuse was the one that told him that, because Mary Kate refused to speak to the police.
Which is so weird.
And lawyered up and asked for immunity.
Why are you
to
going
the
to ask for
DA's
immunity
office?
if you didn't do nothing? Like, what the fuck?
Or because you know some shit that would actually make this look more like, you know, not an accidental overdose, but something else.
Right.
So that would be a good reason to want immunity, to be protected, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's really actually more of what's going on there, rather than her being on the side of the bad guys. But that's still up for debate. The jury's out on that. I don't know for sure which side they're on.
Yeah.
But, you know, my own little concocted theory is that she was actually telling him stuff, giving him information, maybe on places or people or whatever, because possibly he was that fourth person that was with Benningfield and Cornell and what's his name? Paul Walker. I'm sorry, I always forget his name.
Yes.
Because they were working on a documentary about the trafficking and the satanic stuff and things like that.
Paul Walker, Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, and Heath were all working on it, or we're not sure if Heath was, but the other three were.
I'm speculating that Heath may have been the fourth one, because allegedly there were four of them working on it together. Collecting information and stuff. And they were working with people like that Tim, what's his name? Tim
Ballard.
Ballard, thank you. Yes.
Sound of Freedom. Okay.
Yes. They were working with people like him and passing the information that they had to help nail some of these people. And so it's my personal opinion that he was probably the fourth person that was anonymous.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They kept his name anonymous for a while. I want to play this clip real quick and hear what they've got to say about her.
Okay.
When she shows up, she doesn't see Heath right away, so she talks with the housekeeper for a bit. The housekeeper tells her, like, yo, he's still asleep, sorry. And after about 10 or 15 minutes of there still no being signs of any sort of activity from his bedroom, they figure maybe they'll go in there and just start setting up her equipment. Maybe that would wake him up. So she goes in, she brings in her massage table into his bedroom, starts setting up her massage table. And this is where things get murky. Heath, the whole time, completely unresponsive, not moving, not doing anything. Finally, she realizes, like, this is weird. Why isn't he waking up to come over here? And, like, we have this appointment at 3. It's now past 3 already. So she goes over, She starts shaking him, saying, Heath, wake up, wake up. Of course, Diana is hysterical. She was supposed to be giving this guy a massage. Now he's unresponsive. I would be hysterical.
Okay. So this is where he'll go into explaining how she called Mary Kate 3 times.
Yeah, which is so freaking weird.
Before calling the police. And there's the clip of that. I'll just show that on the screen. And I mean, it doesn't make sense to me either that they would say that the police, the officials, the paramedics, whoever it was, said that he had been deceased for quite a bit longer than a 30-minute period.
Yeah.
You know, because the housekeeper said that she heard him snoring. So that
unless
doesn't...
the housekeeper's in on it.
Right. Unless she's in on it, that just, I mean, it doesn't add up.
No,
Any
it
way you
doesn't.
try to slice it,
No.
that doesn't add up. You know? And for her to shake him, like I have personally, physically found a person deceased. And they were only deceased for 10 to 12 hours. So I know what that person's stiffness of their body felt like.
Yeah.
If he was as rigor mortis had set up the way that they described, she'd have known immediately upon shaking him that he was gone.
Yeah.
Like, there's no question about that. You're gonna know. Like, you're just gonna know.
Oh, yeah.
You're not gonna call somebody else freaking out before you call an ambulance, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
why
crazy.
did Mary Kate send 3 of her bodyguards that were apparently ready? They were on the ready and on call,
just ready to
for
go.
Heath,
Ready to
go.
to Heath
And the only
Ledger's
thing,
place.
and the only thing that makes sense to me about that is that she was giving him information, and she knew he was putting himself in danger, but he was like, I don't know, too egotistical or something to get his own bodyguards.
Yeah.
So she had hired 3 to keep close by him in case he needed them, right? That's the only thing I can figure that makes sense. And then flash forward 4 years later, and one of those 3 bodyguards actually got arrested and charged with traffic himself, which makes you wonder, are they in on it, or was he framed because he was trying to help?
Right. It's so like,
you know what I mean? Because
so
they
on
totally
the fence
pin shit on you.
Yeah.
Like, we know that they'll do that. They'll totally pin shit on you.
Oh yeah.
And also, we know that they're
one of
all
them,
kind of networking.
Yeah, if you're not one of them, they will throw you under the bus. That's how I know Michael Jackson was not a pedophile, because had he been, they would have protected his ass.
Right.
When all
I
those
think so too.
allegations came out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think so too.
I'm flip-flopping how I feel about Mary Kate. Other than her being dead, both of the Olsen twins are freaking dead inside because they've been tortured by Bob Saget and God knows who else.
I know. 100%. I mean, they look so drastically different today. It's like their soul's been sucked out of them. God love them.
It has. It has.
But let me just play this clip for you of the ladies on The View, and then I'll tell you why I have the theory that I have.
Okay.
3rd time to tell her, like, yo, I think he's gone. Seriously, what do we do? I think.
Apparently it's the woman who found him, called Mary Kate Olsen first to say that she found him and what to do. And does that seem a little peculiar? The masseuse called Mary Kate Olsen.
Maybe she was. What I thought was very interesting, and then Mary Kate Olsen said she would send over a private security team to handle the situation. So, like, is this something that is...
I mean, why didn't she call 911?
Right, that she didn't say 911, but that she would have a security team come over and handle it.
And maybe did the masseuse work with both of them? Is that why she thought, okay, this is the closest person I can get in touch with?
I just thought, who do you call first when something like this is happening?
I think 911 would be a good answer.
But
okay, so just the fact that The View is bringing this up and what we know about them and what side they're on, right?
Yeah.
Particularly, you know, the people on the left side of the table there, might be leaning more to the left than the right on things. And in my opinion, not fighting the good fight. The fact that they would bring this up and then literally throw Mary Kate under the bus is telling to me.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even pick up on that.
Right? Like, that's so fucking telling to me for Behart and Goldberg to be like throwing her under the bus with this. Right? And then you got the other one down there on the end. Sherry, I think is her name, if I remember right. And she's been sort of in and out of the game loosely in some different ways, right? Some not so bad ways, if you will. And so she knows about stuff that's going on. And yeah, she surely knows about handlers, right? Surely to God she does.
For them to say,
I'm going to
handle
assume.
the situation. Like,
right.
Yeah.
So then they've got her, throwing that line in for more assumption toward Mary Kate. And then you've got the little girl on the end who's always, the whole time she's been on that show, was consistently bucking the system and bucking the Rolodex thing, right? With all of what they're supposed to read, right? The teleprompter thing. She's always bucking the system and going against them. That's why they fired her, because she didn't want to play the game.
Of
And
course.
she's over there trying to ask some sensible questions, like, why would this happen? And what would the logical reason behind that be? And they're just all down there, if I pass out, don't have somebody call Mary Kate for me, ha ha ha. And just, really, really trying to run her through the ringer. So to me, that's telling.
Well, I also thought it was interesting that Joy Behar referred to 911 as 9/11.
I know, because she was reading it off the teleprompter.
These people are fucking stupid.
It's scripted. That's why it's all a movie, because it's.
If you can't, not like, oh my God, these people are fucking stupid.
Yes. She was reading off the fucking teleprompter.
Yeah.
I would bet money on it.
Yeah,
that wasn't
you're right.
her own words.
They ain't up there ad-libbing. You're right. No. They're not creative enough to ad-lib.
No, some witty motherfucker writing the script came up with that. They don't get the credits unless they're rolled in the credits.
Yep.
Because it's all a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of it. Now, I forget
what
year how long has he been gone? When did this happen?
Now let me just Google that real fast, because I don't even remember.
Because I don't know how long the White Hats have been working their magic, but
2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
he
would say
passed
for
on
me,
January 22nd, 2008.
Okay. I know anybody dies now, celebrity that's connected to all this shit, I'm like, nah, the White House got him there in witness protection. Anything that happened after
Fingers
2016.
crossed. From your lips to God's ears, fingers crossed. I pray that that's the truth.
Please be alive.
Gosh. And even some from back further,
Yeah.
For JFK Jr. to be alive would be amazing.
I know he's alive. Okay. Last week when we were watching did we play the clip of Hillary getting arrested? Last week?
We played one that we showed a clip where she was like laying on a gurney or something.
Okay.
Like she was gone.
I
don't think we played the part about her getting arrested.
Well, when she got arrested, and that SUV door opened up and her legs just went out from under her.
Like she just crumpled.
It was Junior. I think it was Junior going, "Hey, Hillary,
might have been.
You killed me, bitch."
You know what? It might have been. Yeah, because what did make her react so?
Credit. My dad's the one who came up with that years ago.
Yeah.
Before he had a stroke. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Huh. I know he's alive.
Yeah.
That movie, Six Underground, have you ever seen it?
No.
Watch it. I'm not a movie person. I really don't even like movies. But my ex happened to watch it, and it was when he had it on, and this was like 2018, 2019. and I passed by, and it just had a total JFK Jr. vibe. It's got Ryan Reynolds, and he faked his death on a plane, and the whole thing is, yeah, it's
What's it
about
called?
6 Underground.
6 Underground. I'm gonna write that
Yeah,
down.
like 6 feet underground.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about a whole group of people who fake their death, and they're going after the powers that be in their little world and taking them
Really?
down. Yes.
Oh, I
And
love
it's
it.
got a great soundtrack. Like I
I
just
love
now the
it.
songs are stuck in my head. Yeah. Like I passed
Is that
by
one
and
song on there? Hold Me Now. Hold Me Now. Right.
I don't
I'm
know.
6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking. Is that
Where's
in it?
my other
Because that would be
I'm
badass
gonna
if it
Google
was.
the
I
sound I'm
fucking
gonna
love
Google
that
the
song. I
fucking
think it's,
soundtrack.
is that Creed? I think that's Creed that sings that.
I
But I
don't
fucking
know.
love that song, man.
I'm
Um,
Googling the Six
anyway,
Underground soundtrack
we're
right
getting a
now.
little bit off track with all this,
Oh
but
yeah.
I also want to ask, did you see the bullshit about this older guy that's claiming that he is the real JFK Jr. and that him and Onassis's son was switched when they were little?
Yes,
You
it's
see
been
that dumb
years.
shit?
It's been years, but
Well, I just saw it today for the first time ever.
just maybe I got my stories mixed up because there's
Uh,
something else from years ago.
but I'm like, that stinks like a rat. I don't know what
Yeah.
that is. That stinks.
Yeah.
But he's already got like 2 small documentary movies and merchandise to sell and 2 books written and the whole,
Okay.
like, come on, who paid for this
Okay.
production, old guy?
Distraction.
Mhm.
Distraction. Junior's still alive.
And see, that's my point. Maybe they're doing that. Maybe somebody's doing that. White hats, black hats. I don't know which hats.
Just to get
But
us talking
somebody's
about JFK Jr. again.
perhaps, or to
Yeah.
deflect from any kind of truth or legitimacy that may be there in what we were just talking about.
Right.
You see? Because you
Right.
never
Yeah.
know. It's moves and counter moves. So you never know if
Yeah.
you're zigging or zagging.
Five D chess, baby. 5 fucking D chess.
Right? And double meanings and triple meanings and I'm
Quadruple
upside
meaning.
down, turned around. I feel like I'm doing the hokey pokey.
Girl, we've been hokey pokeying for years. I
Like,
can't believe
it's
how long it's been. It
crazy. I
blows
know.
my mind. It
I
blows
know.
my mind.
And aren't we hella frustrated with not seeing any arrests or anything yet? Because I mean, I don't know about you, but I started doing heavy research in the end of 2014, early
Okay.
2015. And so I've known a lot for a long time. 10 years, that feels like a long time to be getting
2018 for me.
promises
Yeah.
that
And I
aren't
thought it was going to
being
pop off.
met.
Yeah. I thought this shit was going to pop off in 2020. When COVID hit and we were going into lockdown, I'm like, all right, EBS. My job
Right?
went
Everybody was so ready
went
for it.
on COVID leave, whatever the fuck it's called. We locked down and I'm sitting at home going, all right, EBS today? No, maybe tomorrow.
Mhm.
You know, like I
Right.
was waiting on it.
Right.
Crazy.
Yes. All right. I'm looking at my other screen because I'm trying to find that part where who's it? Is it crazy ass Dennis? Is it Dennis Quaid or is it the other Quaid? I can't never remember
I
which
think
Quaid he
Dennis
is.
Quaid's the only one I know.
You know, Dennis has a brother that's also an act or used to be an actor. Maybe it's Dennis
Okay.
that is the popular actor.
Okay.
And it's his brother that's the one that everybody thinks is crazy.
Okay.
Anyway, there's a clip from him in here too that I want to play in just a minute. But
Okay.
I also wanted to show where it seemed very odd. And here's a weird thing too, before I say that. It seems very odd, first of all, that everybody thinks that Heath Ledger passed away while making the Joker movie, but that's actually not the case. Right?
He wrapped it up and was moving on to another movie.
He was in the middle of making another movie. After that.
Yeah.
And why does nobody remember that? Because I don't remember that.
I don't either.
Like, I don't remember anything. I've never
seen
that movie.
He
I can't even
died.
remember the name of it, actually.
I'm drawing a blank, and I rewatched that video this morning while I was getting ready for
Yeah.
work, or this afternoon. But
like Johnny Depp and who all? Two other people filled in for
Jude Law,
Jude Law and
you think
somebody
so?
else. All did a stint in it at the end to finish up his part.
And he died during the filming of that,
Yeah.
but they made it out like he died right after wrapping
Doing
up
the
the
dark-
Joker, and the Joker
doing the
just took
Dark
him. You
Knight.
know, he was consumed by the role. No, he
Right.
wasn't.
And that
He
was the furthest thing from the truth.
yeah.
And
He
also
kept his
all
journal.
and also all the shit about that he was like heavily into drugs and all that, because they didn't find anything like that in his system in his autopsy. He wasn't
And what
using,
about
prescription drugs, sure, for anxiety and sleeping trouble and things like that, but
and what happens if I go to my doctor and say I'm having trouble sleeping, he'll prescribe me something. We'll try that for a month. I go back for my next and say, hey,
Right.
that yada yada didn't
That
work so
didn't
well, because
work.
you know what? He's gonna write me another
So
one.
now you got
for
two
him
scripts at home.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he had 2 prescriptions of sleeping medications, 2
Mhm.
for anxiety. Doesn't mean
Mhm.
he was taking them all at the same time.
No.
With medications like this, it's trial and error. You don't know until you try.
That's right.
So it doesn't mean like, and then he had hurt his back during Brokeback Mountain,
Right.
which I just think is funny.
Right.
I mean, not
Right.
funny, but
It
it's
is
called
kind of funny.
Brokeback Mountain.
It's
So I
tongue in
mean,
cheek, Jennifer.
totally. But he was not some. And then what was it in that video? They said that this Naomi Campbell's like assistant or some shit said she
blood
met him
diamond
at
bitch.
a Puff Daddy party, and he
Yeah,
was
with his face
popping
on the
like
table, snuffing
ecstasy.
the cokes. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
And
how
I'm like,
convenient.
Puff Daddy party? Like,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, and that's the only.
Mhm.
You know, I don't think
And
he had
like
a drug
she
problem.
should be trustworthy anyway. I mean, hello, Naomi Campbell, blood diamond bitch, right? I don't know how many remember that, but she was totally
You
in a
know,
whole big thing with the blood diamond stuff. And
yes.
she's
Oh,
clearly
okay.
a Ghislaine Maxwell type of character in the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But his the movie that he was doing when he died had a lot of satanic symbolism and stuff, is what they were saying. We're gonna have to watch that. The guy on the video said it was free on Roku. I may watch it on my 2 days off, because I'm off for 2 days. So I'm gonna watch that shit.
I am too. That we literally just talked about that earlier, my cousin and I, that we're gonna watch that. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally gonna figure out the name of it so we can see, because I still can't remember the damn name.
You do you have a clip you need to find? Because I can find the name right now if you need to search for another clip.
You go ahead and do your search, and I actually do have a clip I want to show.
Right.
Yeah.
And found literally nothing. Pretty much nothing exists on there. She doesn't have any licenses, proving that she's not licensed as a massage therapist and never has been. And I also wasn't able to find any sort of businesses under her name that would have led me to believe that she had a massage therapy business. The only other thing I was able to find is that she might have other aliases based on different names. So it helped me to look for her on Facebook using these other names, because Olsen doesn't pop up anything. But I searched for Diana Lee Parker, which is another known alias, maybe like a maiden name or something. I'm not really sure. I couldn't figure out exactly where the names come from based on all the relatives and people that she may know. It was hard to figure out. But anyways, I was able to find this lady, Diana Lee Parker, on Facebook, and then between doing some pretty serious comparisons between the known photos of Diana Olsen and this Diana Lee Parker on Facebook, I think that they're pretty close. I mean, if you look at the bulby nose, she's got the rounded out chin, the same like crease, indentation, kind of aging marks on her cheek. And the one thing that was really stood out to me was her tooth, this one wonky tooth that she has on the side. It sticks out a little more than the others. It's got a unique shape. It's a very unique tooth. This Diana Lee Parker has the same tooth. So I think this is the same lady. And speaking of being a
Oh, it's
ghost,
the same
I was
lady.
able to find this picture, one of the few pictures she has on her profile. It's really not much to this profile at all, but she is promoting this Ghost Light project. And the Ghost Light project is essentially like a protest or like a movement of theater and actor type people. And I guess the ghost light thing is what you leave on. You leave on a ghost light when people aren't on the stage or like acting actively on there. And so it's this ghost light performers strike almost. And this happened, I believe, in 2020. Basically, this leads me to believe that she is either an actress or somehow involved in theater or film or writing, directing. She's somehow involved with the entertainment industry, obviously. So was this lady an actress? Was she hired by Mary-Kate Olsen to do what she did and go in and...
Or someone else.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But I think homeboy with this YouTube channel, which is a great YouTube channel, by the way, he's got videos on all the good ones. But yeah. The movie is the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Is Heath's movie where he passed away. Scenes were completed. The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. And it has Colin Farrell, Johnny Depp, and Jude Law, all playing different aspects of Heath.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So crazy.
And I'm totally going to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm just showing some clips of Mary-Kate and Ashley while you talk.
Which one is Ashley and which one's Mary-Kate? Because, I mean, I hate to say it. One of them's a little bit prettier. And another one looks...
Ashley is the one with the longer face. Because now that they're older, they look a little different.
A little different.
Mm-hmm.
Which they probably would be incredibly gorgeous if that fucker had not destroyed them.
Exactly.
I hate him. I hate you, Bob Saget. I hope you rot in hell, you pedophile piece of shit.
I have never liked him.
Because they were so beautiful. Like that photo right there, that's a cute photo. Like dead inside. So the one on the right is Mary-Kate.
The one on well, I mean, in my screen it's the left, so I don't know what you're looking. The one with the lighter colored hair.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And her face is a little lighter.
Yeah.
And her eyes look bigger.
Yeah. Oh.
And the other one is Ashley, and I think she is probably the one that has the harder time coping between the two.
I mean, if you look at
I were
Ashley's
to just
eyes,
read their energy, I think that this young lady right here is so deeply traumatized.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both traumatized. She just handles it a little better than this one.
Right. But the other one, she looks like she's fighting back tears.
Yeah.
Like it looks like just getting out of bed every morning is probably hard. I mean.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, she may even be the one that had the drug issues for a while.
Well, growing up and growing up on the set of Full House, I don't blame him at all for having drug issues.
Right, because if they were being essayed,
yeah,
you know, and this was ridiculous. This
my God,
this song and this show they made him put on for Bill Clinton.
So that's ridiculous. Supposed to be Bill Clinton? I thought so.
Yeah, that's supposed to be Bill Clinton. And
talking about nobody makes a president eat their vegetables or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're already talking about the foods, right? The foods and the kids are involved.
We know how they use foods for code words.
Right.
Pizza and hot dogs.
Yeah. And, you know, while we're on the subject here of Bill Clinton, and I'm sure you remember the whole Monica thing, right? Monica Lewinsky.
Absolutely.
Do you know that John F. Kennedy Jr. was once upon a time on a late night talk show quoting an article or an essay or something that Monica Lewinsky had written in 8th grade about how she is like pizza.
You are fucking kidding me. Oh my God.
No, that really,
Dude.
like that really happened. And as soon as I find this light, here we go.
We're
That
gonna have
that little part.
deep
We're gonna
dive
come
in
back to
Monica.
this. We're
Yeah.
gonna come back to this in a minute. And I'm gonna find you that clip. That one. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm grabbing the right one.
We happen to have someone who sent us Monica Lewinsky's poem that she wrote in 9th grade. Actually, not in 9th grade, when she was a 9-year-old. And I know I'm going to rot in hell eternally for this, but can I maybe just give it a sample?
Yeah, give a sample.
Okay. It was written, the poem is a poignant rumination on how, quote, I can be a delicious lunch, dinner, or breakfast if you're weird. She goes on to describe herself, quote, as a round and flat piece of dough with lots of topping. I am a mouth's best friend. I make you say, yum, yum. It's amazing how kids know at a young age what they're going to do with their life. Monica Lewinsky's poem that is in here. Explain this. Early for this, but can I maybe just...
That's just
think
crazy.
we can find the whole poem? I mean, like, not right now, but like, you think it's out there somewhere?
It probably is. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Probably, oh, yeah, that's happening.
Probably even on X. Matter of fact, you know, if I had to guess where to look first, that would be on X.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
There are no coincidences.
Mm-mm. No.
Now,
and I mean, he was telling that in 1998, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, he knew.
Oh, he knew.
He knew.
He knew.
So how fucking fantabulous would it be for him to actually be alive and part of the plan? Boom.
He is the plan. The plan. Him and Trump were buddies. Trump helped him fake his death.
I hope so. God, I hope that's
and
right.
I just want to give a quick rundown of how that went down so people aren't going like, this girl's crazy thinking JFK Jr. is alive. He's fucking alive, okay? He was running against Hillary Clinton for the Senate race, okay? And he knew, because he's JFK Jr., that she was going to kill. And there
seems to be a body counting.
Yo, yeah.
All the way back to Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got them altitude detonators. So he gets in his little plane and then he goes up to a certain altitude and then just boom, kaboom. Okay. Well, he swapped it out for a remote detonator. And if I remember correctly, he got on that plane by himself, or at least him and maybe one other person with some parachutes, swapped it out for a remote detonator, dipped out. Plane goes kaboom. Hillary thinks he's dead. Fast forward to her arrest. SUV opens up. Her legs go weak because he's like, yo, bitch.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I'm back from the grave. And another interesting thing about this, see, that's where Bill Cooper or William Cooper is very poignant to the whole connecting the dots thing, too, because he was actually a radio announcer in New York when the plane went missing that Junior was on. And so that's an interesting thing because he wrote Behold the Pale White Horse, and that's one of the Q trip codes was the ISBN number for that book, right? To go read that book, it was a dot to connect to things. And he never bought the story, and he knew that there was a shadow government, and he was speaking out, and now he's, you know, so interesting connection there. But also, Junior didn't take his own plane out that day. That actually was his dad's plane that started with like an NJ6 or an N6 kind of insignia number on the side of it.
Yeah.
And that's not the plane that he got into. There were actually some young girls there that as witnesses that saw him and his wife and her sister there. before boarding the plane when they were just getting out of their cars. And
Okay, so it was the three of them that got on the plane.
Yeah, her sister
Okay.
Lauren
Okay.
was allegedly with them. Yeah. Which I can also see happening, right? And I feel
they
like
just need 3 parachutes. They got this. They're
yeah.
Kennedys.
Plus, he knew how to fly a plane, probably long before he actually took lessons himself to get a pilot's license. Because little known fact, his stepdad, Mr. Onassis, also knew how to pilot planes. And
Okay.
he was quite fond of the smaller planes, right? Like the Cessnas, which is what they had. And JFK had a Cessna, right? And a lot of people don't realize too that JFK was a Navy SEAL, and there were 2 different instances where he and his men were out at sea, and he saved every one of his men and put them back in the boat. He rescued the other like 6 or whatever. He was a hell of a Navy SEAL, right?
He's such
And
a badass.
when Junior's plane, there's a reason I bring that up, because when Junior's plane went down, right off the coast of Martha's Vineyard, where they were headed to for a wedding party for his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
The Coast Guard wasn't called right away. The police were not called right away. Ted Kennedy, instead, I think, had Navy SEALs go out there to help rescue them and pull this off before calling anybody.
Okay.
Because Junior also intentionally didn't radio the air traffic control tower. They didn't know he was out there. Like there were lots of things that just didn't make sense unless this was a planned checkout moment, you know?
Yes. And I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm running against Hillary Clinton in anything, I'm probably going to fake my death because I know she's going to, you know.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that was I don't think that's the only reason that it happened.
Oh, hell no.
And honestly, for as much of a mastermind as he and his wife both were, because they were both journalists, and I guarantee you she helped him with the George magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was hella good at that. But between the two of them and their mastermind concoctions, it wouldn't have surprised me a bit to learn that they actually, the whole Senate run was a setup just to have an easy out to push the envelope, right? Because now's the time to start acting on the plan.
Exactly. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
They could have planned it all. They could have been 5D chessing these motherfuckers from the get-go.
I mean, look how long Trump's been saying that he wanted to run for president, and if he run our country, what he would do to change it and stuff. I mean, he was speaking out on Oprah in the 80s talking about this stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So clearly there was already a plan in place. And the whole Q narrative is that, well, I'll say the R narrative rather, that began right before Q, was that, you know, ever since my father's death, some good military men and some others put a plan into place.
Yeah.
To take down the dark cabal, the deep state.
Yeah.
And they had to do it just right to finally get into the position where they could actually enact the plan.
Because with JFK, with that assassination, they realized that the tentacles were too deep. Like there was just too much.
Yeah.
They had no other choice.
Right.
Man, this is crazy.
I know, right? All right, so back to the Heath Ledger stuff.
Yes.
I want to share another little clip here at the end, because this actually is going to sort of segue into where we go next week with our Monday Madness.
Monday Madness.
I want you to listen to this.
Roller with these, some of you, I think many of you know it, and it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract
It's skin from a Korean baby. That's what it is.
Okay.
Who comes up with this?
I don't think, and it's not like I'm lying there with little pieces all over my face. It's like,
who thinks of collecting it and having it for, we'll do something with this someday.
And why didn't we come up with that?
Now, see, they're making light of it.
Oh, yeah. And
Like
Ellen's like, oh, who would come up with this? She knows. She's getting the shit injected in her face, too.
Right. And the whole circumcision thing, this whole narrative to the Christianity story of circumcision has always been tainted and always been used as a sacrificial or fountain of youth type of thing. And that's why the blood is so instrumental in all of this, whether you're talking religious aspects or Hollywood. Like there's certain rituals that happen and it's all linked together. It's all part of this dark, ego-driven cabal.
Yeah.
And lots of little people are being affected because of it. It's a damn shame. It's such a, there's not even words. I can't even use words.
The only words I have is it fucking ends now. People need to wake the fuck up. We need to stand up. We need to scream at the top of our lungs. No, people need to get their head out of their ass and do something about it. You know, like quit idolizing these people.
Right.
I mean, it's so obvious who the big players are. We just saw two of them.
Named Gene Deal, who used to bodyguard for him back in the day, as you can see in this picture in the background, straight up said Diddy is a demon.
But dude is a demon, bro. Dude is a demon. I realized he was a demon at Shine trial. And I don't care what nobody say, man. And like when people still talk and keep on talking, if that priest ever come out and he talking, if people keep talking, you'll find out that a lot of that Gene Deal has said has been the truth and nothing but the truth. I was there. I was there when that priest or whoever he was rubbed that stuff on his head, put his hand on top of him, told him to grab the bird out the cage, the white dove, and he threw the dove in the air. And the dove act like he ain't have no wings and hit the ground. Boom! That start walking my way. I'm looking like this, bro. I'm like, and he just walked past me. Like he didn't even see me. We going to the same place.
Now notice he mentioned a priest. Then he said something was rubbed on Diddy. Clearly that was oil. Because then he went into an animal, a dove, being thrown up in the air, and the dove was dead. That was a sacrifice.
I'm starting to think.
It was totally a sacrifice.
Oh, fucking God. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but still.
Yeah. Now, check this out right here.
I have such a problem with this. You got to explain this one to me. And he said, well, first of all, you're looking at it the wrong way. I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, they don't define children the way you do. They don't define the world the way you do. The choices that you face are not their choices, right? They look at it completely differently. And I said, well, okay, so how do they look at it? And he said, for them, everything is defined by their one fundamental, all-consuming purpose. I said, which is what? He said, to defeat God, right? Because this is the moment. I mean, for them, it's about the real God. The true gods are them and Satan, there, right? And so he said, children are the closest thing on earth to God. because we are created in the image of God. And as you know, from the moment we're created, we haven't had time to be corrupted and to stray. So for them, the younger you are, the closer you are to God, the more pain they can inflict on God. So the more you can make a baby or a small child suffer, the greater your victory over God. And that is the only consideration for them. Outside of that doesn't exist.
I'll tell you what makes no sense to me. How are you?
And I already know this shit, and I'm about to cry. I need my emotional support, Kitty.
Right?
Come
Because
on, Tristan.
doesn't that
Come on,
just really ring 100% true to you?
1,000%. And it's okay, baby. It's fine, Tristan.
When I heard that, it made so much more sense to me because that's one of the questions I've always asked too. Why the kids? It can't just be about the whole Fountain of Youth bullshit, right? And of
No,
course
it's because they're pure.
we know that they're doing like sacrificial things and really wicked ritual stuff, right? Allegedly, right? But it still never made sense. Like, what is
Allegedly.
right? Like, what would the goal be there? The goal, is it fame and fortune, really? I mean, is that really logical that somebody would go to that kind of an extent, just to have fame and fortune? It really just doesn't add up.
No, it's not.
And then to hear her, I was just like, yeah, that's exactly what it is, because this is a spiritual war.
Yeah.
Like, holy
And I mean, like,
shit.
I really did when I found out about all this shit. And we went down these rabbit holes trying to find evidence that we were wrong, and we found evidence that we were right.
Yeah.
Girl, I didn't sleep for 6 months. I didn't eat. I didn't listen to music.
The things I learned messed me up.
I cried at night. I
Me
was
too.
just
Yeah. Yeah. The things I have seen and discovered and heard, you can't undo that.
But you can't. But there's the reason I know that I'm here on this planet for this is because after the 6 months, it was like, okay, I'm here to do a job. I'm on this planet to do a job. I'm okay. Wait till everyone else finds out. Somebody's got to be strong.
That's right.
That's going to be me. That's going to be you. That's going to be all of us, like warriors, QAnon.
And I think that's part of the perfect divine plan, right? I mean, that's part of why there are volunteers here and star seeds, because we learned those things first so that we can hold that light and be that beacon.
Yeah.
Be that shoulder, be that person that can explain the questions, the answers to the questions they're going to have, or connect the dots they're going to need connected, because this is going to rock some worlds. And I'm fairly certain they're not going to see even a tenth of what we know.
No.
They're just going to get the surface stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's just that bad.
It is. It's
But
the stuff of nightmares.
yeah, and now you even have people coming out and saying that part of their musical contract or their acting contract literally had clauses in there that say you can't say the name of Jesus if you win an award or out in public when you're talking to interviewers or whatever. And I'm like, really? So see, that just leans more toward, this is not a conspiracy theory at all. This is likely for real truth. And everybody that does think we're nut jobs right now are fixing to find out the hard way. And it's going to be difficult for them.
Hold on, my cat got his claw stuck. It's okay, baby. It's okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's okay. You got your claw stuck. You got your claw stuck in the chair. It's okay, my love. I love you. Okay, you go exploring. My baby. That's my heart right there.
Right.
He got his claw stuck in the chair. I'm like, Mama, help me.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, but The shit I learned did not break me, and it should have. That's how I know this is my purpose.
Yeah.
This is what I'm here for.
100%.
I came to this planet for a reason. I came to this planet to help people connect the dots, help people understand they've been programmed, and it's okay. And it's you don't have to be afraid, because God's got this. We got this. Because together, all of us are a fractal of God's source energy. So when we all come together, what are we? God, source energy.
Right. And even in the Bible, it says, "Where more than one gather in my name, there I am." Right?
Yep.
Under the stone, at the tree, it doesn't matter. God is everywhere, as long as we gather in His name, and that's what it's all about. And
exactly,
we definitely are here to be warriors of light and take the brunt of it.
Yeah.
And also to be that beacon of light to hold them and nurture them when they learn the truths. Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think that's a good place to end tonight's show with.
Absolutely.
Wake the fuck up, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wake the fuck up. Because it's a whole lot deeper and darker, and we're going to keep digging and going down those rabbit holes and sharing the truth with you in increments and showing you how all of it is connected. And ironically, all roads lead back to Rome.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
That's some real irony right there. How true that statement really is. So, hope everyone enjoyed our Monday Madness show.
Monday Madness. Please comment. We are here to answer questions. If you're new to this, if this information is new to you, leave us a comment. One of us will get back to you. We will help you figure this out. We are all in this together.
100%. And if you're one of us on our level that already knows this shit, or you've got some information you want to share, dude, tag that shit in the comments too. We want to know. We want to collab. We want to share. We want to learn. Because again, we're all in this together.
And we all got a piece to the puzzle. Every single one of us.
That's right. Every light matters.
Absolutely.
All right. Till next time. Peace out,
Till
everybody.
next time. Later.